Hey everybody, Coach Jason from Top Line Running. Hope you're doing well. So this is for Coach Jimmy. He had a question for me on my TikTok account. For those that don't know, I have a TikTok account. It's about running as well. That's linked to this. My name's Access to Coach on TikTok. So if you're there, please follow me. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. I don't know what you're doing. If you're a coach or an athlete, you definitely want to be following this. Okay, I'll go live streams here too, and we have Q&A, and I'm here to help the running community any way that I can. So today's question is 400 and 800 meter runners. Coach Jimmy had this question. Okay, when you move them up to cross country, or you train them during the fall, do you train them like you do distance runners, or differently, or kind of like distance runners? This is an important question because a lot of times you just lump them in with your distance runners in cross country. Okay. I understand too, some of you half milers might be on the cross country team, and I see this more often than not, especially in the high school level because they're training for 5K. That's a little bit closer to the track events than the 8K and 10K. So I get that. But there are some similarities that you could incorporate into the training as a coach. And this is something that I've worked with. And I've got programs, detailed programs for 400, 800 meter runners, specifically who are either running cross country or training through the fall and not running cross country and getting ready for track. So for those that are interested in those, if anybody is, if you're a coach, email me. My email is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. Again, it's blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. I got this all in a file that is available to you if you want it. So, but I want to put forth a couple things, okay? Number one, for 400, 800 meter runners, building a long run is important, right? And even as a 400 meter runner. But I like to incorporate some different things here. Meaning what? Well, for 400 800 runners, I would have them doing the tempo runs at the high school level, at the very least, with the high school runners, okay? Appropriately based on their times, okay? And that's one thing. I would also have them do, instead of doing threshold running for them, okay, or threshold reps. So you can either do a tempo run or threshold reps, whichever you choose to do. Then I would have them do a VO2 max session because that's more in line with half mile training. And VO2 max running is at 5K pace and 3K pace, okay, with 1-to-1 in recovery. So if you're doing 4 times 1,000 and just say 3 minutes, you're going to take a 3-minute recovery. If you're doing 800 meter reps in 230, you're taking a 230 recovery, and so on. And obviously, the volume would not be the same for 400, 800 meter runners as they would for 800, 1500, or even your distance runners. The volume would be appropriate to the distance that they're training for in the track, okay? But still, nonetheless, still important. And then I would also do a speed endurance workout, which is volume 200s. And I've talked about this on my TikTok account, particularly for 400 meter runners, but this is also beneficial for 800 meter runners. And this is a good workout to do with VO2 max work and your tempo runs or threshold training. Okay, and you can even cycle it 1 week out, and next week you do, let's just say you do a tempo or threshold 1 week, VO2 max the following week, and then you can do 200 meters at speed endurance the following week. And then you can repeat that cycle all throughout cross country if you want, as well as the other things you're looking to do, okay? And for the 200 meter efforts, let's just say you start at 35 seconds, right? For 400, 800 meter runners, we'll do 2-minute recovery, okay? Let's just say you do 15 of these at 35 seconds per, just an arbitrary time. Not very fast, but doesn't need to be right now. The goal is to build recovery. I mean, and build, volume and speed endurance along with the recovery at the same time, excuse me. And then you do that for 2 weeks, right? Or do that if you're cycling every 3 weeks, you do it every 3 weeks then you go down to 14 reps, so you drop a second in the 200. So you go 14 at 34 seconds with the same recovery, 2 minutes. Next time you do it, 13 at 33, then 12 at 32, then 11 at 31, and 10 at 30. And you'll be surprised at how fit they get just by doing that sequence of 200s. And when you incorporate with the other workouts, hill running and other things, building the long run as well, this is a great way of not only incorporating the training of a 400 meter, 800 meter runner into cross country, but cycling in a way so that they get some cross country benefit and some aerobic development too. Okay. Another thing you can do is, let's just say cross country is a 12-week season, right? And let's just say you have half milers who move down to the 400. That you like to have them in the 4x4, you like them to have them double or whatever. They run 600s in indoor too. So you can have them every 4 weeks on a Friday or whatever, if they're not racing particularly. You have them do a workout. Let's just say it's that tempo run, right? Or threshold reps. Okay, you do your threshold reps. Let's just say threshold 800-meter reps. Then you take, and those are at 1 minute recoveries. You take a 10 or 12-minute recovery after the last one. Go get your spikes. Have them go get their spikes if they're not out there with them already. It's something you can tell them ahead of time too. Bring your spikes with you today. Why, coach? I'll let you know. So after that workout, you spike up, okay? Hydrate a little bit, do a couple strides, and then you have them do a 400 hard at basically 800-meter pace. So if they're looking to run 2 minutes, you're doing a 460, right? Looking to run 155, you're running the 400 and 57. You're looking to run 220, you run the 470, and so on. And this could be boys and girls, okay? And then 4 weeks later, you bump the 400 up to either 500 at the same pace, so you're adding volume at the pace that they're looking to run. Whatever their goal 800-meter pace is, whatever they're looking to run at the end of the season is what you're going to try to have them run now. And if they can do that or a semblance of it after a workout, it can not only simulates running that pace when they're fatigued, but it also simulates doubling in a track meet, right? Running their second race in a track meet. How do they respond the second time out? This is another way to do this too, okay? So now you can bump it up to 500 meters. And then 4 weeks later, which is essentially the week of, let's just say nationals, right? NCAAs or nationals and NXN or whatnot. If you have a team going NXN or NCAAs, you can have your middle distance runners who are not running cross test themselves the same exact day, week 12. Okay, do the same workout, whether it be VO2 max, whatever it might be, right? Take the 10 to 12-minute recovery, hydrate up, spike up, okay? So they're going from 400, and they do 500 week 8, then you bump them up to 600 week 12. Okay, and they're going to run 2 minutes. If they can run 130 at week 12 at the end of off of cross-country training primarily, then you're ahead of the game. You know they're ready to run a fast 800. But you also know they're strong enough to run a fast 800 and come back and run a good 4x4 or a good 500, whatever you might want to have them run. Okay, because of the other workout that they've done, the 200-meter repeats, they've got progressively faster, as well as the speed development you would be incorporating during cross-country season as well. Okay, and this can be specific to 400, 800. Now, if you have an 800-meter runner who tends to move up to the 1,000, right, or 1,200-meter leg in the DMR who doesn't happen to be running cross-country, or who he or she doesn't make the cross-country team, you could do the same every 4-week sequence, but instead of going 400, 500, 600, you can go 400, 600, 800 and test them at a mile, right, or whatever it might be. Or you can just have them run a 400 as hard as they can after a workout, and then a 600 as hard as they can after a workout, and then an 800 as hard as they can after a workout. You'd be surprised how fast they'll run an 800 at the end of a cross-country season after that workout, if you're doing the other things that you need to do, like rolling hilly fartleks, right? Building a long run. And the long run doesn't have to be 18 miles like people are running 80, 90 miles a week. It doesn't have to be that long. The long run should be appropriate to the people that you're training for this, okay? Tempo runs. And tempo runs and threshold training, I want to point this out too. Tempo runs and threshold training are one of the initial culprits of enhancing your VO2 max, which is extremely important for middle distance and distance runners. Okay, and even middle distance runners who step down to shorter events. And then it makes it easy for you to transition to VO2 max specific. Like I said already, it's 3K pace and 5K pace. Okay. Now, and any good half mile, if you look at some of the top half milers in the world, they train at 5K pace, 3K pace, mile pace, half mile pace, and even 400-meter pace. They have a lot of speed, Okay, but they also have strength. And your fit half milers tend to slow, and your fit quarter milers tend to slow down less than everybody else. Some of them even will leave a negative split. Okay, so this is a way of essentially setting your 400, 800-meter runners up for success during track season in the fall, whether they're running cross country or not. If they are running cross country, this is a way of sneaking in some training that'll help them into the training. that will not compromise their cross country training. Okay, and that's the other part. It will not compromise their cross country training. It will complement it. Okay, and then on the other end, they're ready to go during track season. This also keeps them engaged by testing them every 4 weeks, especially if they're not racing across. It puts them in race mode every 4 weeks. It gives them something to look forward to every 4 weeks, right? So if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. Ask away. Okay, whether it be here, my email, my TikTok, or whatever. I always answer my emails. And I answer responses and DMs and everything else. I want to share as much information as I possibly can. I'm speaking from 20 plus years of experience as a former competitive runner and a coach, okay, of the last 2 decades. And again, the more you know, the better off you're going to be. The more weapons you have in your tool shed, the better prepared you're going to be as a coach and an athlete. Okay, it allows you to make decisions on the fly, allows you to make prepared decisions. Whatever situation you put yourself in, the more you know, the better off you're going to be. And that's my goal here, is to make sure you know as much as possible so you can make better decisions and set yourself up and your athletes up for success. And I hope you found that helpful today in this video. Okay, I'm going to keep it coming. Okay, have a great season. I'll talk to you next time.